Hello, Fightful Faithful. Top of the evening to you. It's
Sorry, we're a
St.
little
Patrick's
late.
Day week.
Neither of us wanted to talk about this episode.
It's St. Patrick's Day week, so I thought I would break out the fun stuff. Hey, it's a rainbow, just like NXT 2.0, which is still what this terrible show is. I'm Alex Pulowski. With me, as always, is Kate. Kate, I said this about Raw last night, and I will say it wholeheartedly. I can't believe sentient adults are in charge of this.
And what I said before we went on air was that I can't believe this and what I watch on Thursdays are technically classified as the same thing, because they're not. And I just wanted up front, because people are always going to say dumb stuff. Up front, I want to say shout out to like all of the talent who are trying their best with this crap, because it's just like a complete and utter insult when we get episodes like we had today. And you know what? The last 2 weeks were not as bad, especially the week before last. Not terrible. We got to see Miko and Roxanne in a really good match.
And then what happened, Kate?
Oh, and then what happened?
And then what happened, Kate? And then what happened right after the amazing match?
He booked a tribute spot to himself.
And then what happened a week after that, Kate?
Oh, you know, they said Roxanne is either getting called up or actually got injured, but they didn't say that. They said that they did a bunch of tests with an extremely real doctor, and that she has to vacate the championship because they don't know if she's going to be cleared. So they can't even wait 2 weeks. This was one of the, I can't believe I'm saying this, like, because it's actually impressive that this is one of the worst episodes of wrestling television, worst episodes of wrestling I've ever seen. Because Alex, I bet all the dollars in my pockets against all the dollars in your pockets that if you went back to a post show 2 weeks before Stand and Deliver last year, you would see half of these same stupid storylines. I know you were seeing tag teams split up in the women's division because they had a whole freaking tournament called the Dusty Rhodes Classic, made it a fatal 4-way. This is such unbelievable trash. It is so disrespectful to people that put their mental health and physical well-being on the line. Like, what a week to remember. It doesn't take much to potentially end your career in this stuff. And people are going out and they're performing wrestling matches. And why? Forget about our time. Forget about our time as fans. But you're gonna make wrestling. You're gonna take someone like Sol Ruka, who has improved like leaps and bounds, and have her go out there to eventually what? Get paired in a tag team so she can split up from them again? Because she'll be like a surfer, but then there'll be like a goth chick, and maybe she'll have a tiny skateboard too. Like, I'm just so unbelievably... I just can't remember any other wrestling program or any other TV program that ran the same story with every character they had for literally years. Maybe Grey's Anatomy. They had the same like thing where they just kept running into natural disasters, right? But at least they would change it from like a fairy thing to a tornado or whatever the hell. This is just such a load of crap. It is so lazy. And like, this is when people would get so annoyed when I would say stuff about the women's division in AEW, because I would say, all you have to do is care. And everybody got pissed off about it. And guess what, Alex? I was right! Because when they started giving a crap, it got a lot better. Give a crap. People are putting their physical well-being on the line. This is such a load of... Candice LeRae is just like a matronly little wife who watches her husband's ass get beat. The same Candice LeRae who made her name in War Games. And you were like, oh my god, this like pixie fairy woman who I adore will ruin your life and her own. While she now holds her baby and watches her husband get his ass beat in the yard. Not going to put the baby down. Me and Quill are just going to sit here and watch my husband get his ass kicked by a punk-ass Grayson Waller. Not only is that garbage, it's recycled garbage from Triple H's career, from Edge's career. They have the nerve to call the department creative, change it, Change it to recycled BS. And this isn't archetypes. This isn't like, well, you have developmental talent, so you're putting them in archetypes and situations that they might see when they move up to the roster. No. This is recycled garbage. And when I say recycled garbage, because those are supposed to be two different things. You're supposed to have your garbage and your recycled bins. This is recycled garbage, meaning that it was already bad, it was already garbage, and now they're doing it again. It's just ridiculous. It's a waste of my time. It's a waste of your time. It's a waste of not only like everybody in the SGS's time, not really, because we get to sit here and do this, and Alex has like a rainbow sparkle face, and we're going to have so much fun, and we're going to sing songs, do puns tonight. But when I think about the fact that people are busting their asses in the ring, Tiffany Stratton, easily one of, if not the most improved wrestler in the past 18 months. Sol Ruca, not just a great finisher, guys. Real damn good. Zoe Stark, consistently one of the best. You brought Johnny Gargano back because the home of NXT just wasn't hitting you over the head enough as a metaphor. Garbage. Absolute garbage. But guys, this is your NXT post show for March 14th. Get in your super chats and your Humper Chats at humperchats.com. Check us out on twitch.tv/Fightful Gaming. And leave a thumbs up on this video, because someone's got to be happy about something. At least Alex's glasses are making me smile today, so that's good. Just unreal. When I saw Candice LeRae standing there with her kid, who I've seen in a War Games match ruin people, just watching Johnny Gargano get his ass beat by Grayson Waller.
Stop. Please stop. Leave him alone.
It seem like she doesn't love her husband.
No, what she was doing was, she said to somebody, I'm pretty sure I would get involved. I wouldn't just, like, I'm a professional wrestler too, guys.
And they said, get back in the kitchen. You're nothing more than his wife.
They told her, no, we need to see you be concerned. And like, you know, like it'll add to the drama of everything. You can't get involved. You can't like help him fight off Grayson Waller because you got a baby on your hip. And she said, yeah, but what if he was asleep inside? Because we're actually good parents and it's like 9 o'clock at night and he's 1. What if he was asleep inside and or I just never come out? Because if you're going to make me stand on the stoop and just watch my husband get his ass kicked and I'm not allowed to do anything but say, please stop, that's dumb. They were like, just do it. And so she said, okay, I'll just do it.
She didn't call the cops.
And what just doing it is, please stop. No, you'll hurt him. Please don't. No, please stop. She was actively rebelling by doing the least possible. You can't tell me she wasn't, because I know in my bones, Candice LeRae was so offended that they wouldn't let her help her husband beat up a guy. She was so offended. I have watched that girl, a Crimson Mask, take on dudes in like battle royals. No, sorry. No.
Could you imagine her versus Athena for the ROH Women's Championship? Because I could. Because I could. Don't insult your performers. Like, it's actually gross. 2 women's tag teams broke up tonight, Alex. 2. In the same episode.
Well, one of them's technically still together, but they're already broken up.
They're already broken up and they're the champions.
The champs are still together, but they're already broken up. This is basically Shawn Michaels is booking the women's tag team division like he's the Highlander. There can be only one tag team at any time can be actually together. That's it.
Well, makes for a pretty boring wrestling program, Alex. I'm like disgusted. Because there are so many great people in the ring. There really are. Like, as much as we come on here and like make silly names, it's always about the creative. Like, a lot of these people are really coming along. And for what? To not get called up, I guess. Unless Roxanne is.
Yeah, and yeah, no, it's the Roxanne thing, man.
I guess we have to go through this chronologically because we
I
can't.
guess we
The whole thing is shit
like
from wall to wall.
Because a few hours ago, Shawn Michaels, who has blocked everyone on wrestling Twitter, tweets out what his the angle is. The angle, I can't do it with these on. The angle is I just can't. I was set to. We were gonna have a fun time. We were gonna do a lot of fun stuff today. It's St. Patrick's Day
there.
week.
We just got a lot to trudge through, my friend.
But I'm so angry, and like this is what I love. The sour is strong with you. Good. Let the hate flow through you. Somebody said Alex just laid out and beamed with pride. I did. When I brought you into the circle of sour, I had no idea that one day the pupil would exceed the master, because that was just brava. That rant was stellar.
Well, here's where you and I differ a little bit. Mm-hmm. You, as we know, are always searching for the best possible solution, and you have varying levels of frustration with everything under that. Mm-hmm. I have a little bit more leadway, but when you give me crap from wall to wall for 2 hours in a developmental program, I'm just very aware, especially this week, that like it is extremely mentally, emotionally, and physically taxing to be a pro wrestler. And you can't even do them the respect of writing a women's tag story, one tag story that isn't the same. No, I mean, my God. But yeah, Shawn Michaels, who said on a premium live event press conference that he was open to the ideas of everybody and has blocked everyone on Twitter. You were saying?
He tweeted out she came home from the hospital on Friday, but we can't figure out what's wrong with her. So there's got to be something wrong with her. So with Stand and Deliver only less than 3 weeks away, I'm going to have to step in and figure out something to do. And then later he tweeted out, here's what we're going to do. We're going to have qualifying matches starting tonight. They're going to have a ladder match for the women's title. And that's what they led with. Now, like everyone knows, here's the thing. Going out of last week, everyone knew that her falling unconscious and falling over was a work. Everyone knew that's what that was. But then it becomes like, oh, well, did she actually like sustain a concussion? And now they got to figure out what to do with it. Like
on the scorpion kick, I got really worried about it. So
was it a shoot? What is it? A work that became a shoot? Was it? Don't know what work when you shoot a work and you work you shoot marks or whatever it is. Brother HH. So we didn't know what that was, but now. Or is it this angle? Like, are you running and people are like, oh, well, she's being called up. Like, is she? Like, they never call anybody up. They never call anybody up. So, like, is she being called up at this point? Like, also, like, I would say, I would say that she is great and could have an amazing run as women's NXT champion at this age, at this stage of her career. And also on the main roster, you already have a bunch of women you don't know what to do with. So adding another one to the mix just feels like okay, great. Now she's there. What are we doing with that? Like, I feel like in a year or two, Roxanne Perez is slotted right into the main event picture of the women's division. Right now, like, are you going to have like, golly gosh, gee whiz, I'm so young and I can't believe I'm here. Like, is that going to be her character for the next 6 months? Because if so, you can keep it. Like, I don't trust anybody in any decision-making capability in this company to know what the hell they're doing with anybody ever. So it seems like they've got a good
women's division right now. Right. My God.
it seems like they got a good thing going with Roxanne and NXT. I don't know if I want. Hey, we're calling her up whilst she's champion, and to protect her, we'll have her win a match that then like causes her to have a brain aneurysm that our South African doctor, because that was his accent, it was really weird. Our South African doctor can't diagnose, so we're gonna strip her, kind of, and then have other women become the champion while she gets like shadow called up to Raw. And like, here's the thing, like whatever nebulous like thing that's going on, she doesn't have any heart disease, nothing wrong with her brain. She wasn't dehydrated. We can't figure out why she collapsed and fell unconscious last week. So we got to keep her out of the ring. But however, in 3 weeks, we're going to call her up. She's going to debut on Raw and have a match.
I think it's going to be...
No, don't do that. Don't. The story of we have to take the title away from her and she has to not be champion anymore. Like, you can't just dovetail that right into makes her main roster debut. Like, there are people, I promise you, there are not that many people, I promise you. But some of them watch both shows. And you owe it to those people to have some kind of continuity. I beg of you. Like, you can't write Roxanne Perez off TV because she had something that wrong with her that gave her a fainting spell, but we can't diagnose it. But then 2 weeks later, after just disappearing from NXT, she shows up on Raw or SmackDown and has a match, and you never address it. That's not allowed. You can't do that. You can't do it. That is basic storytelling. You can't. Just so don't. But I feel like that's what they're going to do.
What part of tonight's 2 hours made you think they have a grasp on basic storytelling? I would love to know. But I don't think that's the way it's going to go. I think they're not going to know what's wrong with her until, oh my gosh, Alex, the last minute. And she's going to enter that match and win and retain her championship.
Which is even fucking dumber. Like, everybody was set on this really cool thing, which you had Tiffany Stratton coming after Roxanne. You had the future of women's wrestling. How old is Tiffany Stratton? Like,
oh gosh, I don't know, but
I mean, 25, if that, right? And how, like, Roxanne Perez is like 21. You have the future of women's wrestling in NXT against each other, because I think both of them are multi-time women's champions wherever 100%. They choose to spend the majority of their career. They're both great and getting better. You have that match one-on-one at your biggest stage to like look back on 5-10 years from now and go, remember that match? That was the start of something amazing. But instead you're like, well, let's do a ladder match, because again, what does Shawn Michaels always do? He books his greatest hits. So Shawn Michaels was like, you know what we need? We need a friggin' ladder match.
I hope they would at least make it the Scott Hall Memorial. Because they didn't do that with the IC one last year, which was really dumb.
Tiffany is 23.
Tiffany Stratton is 23 and Roxanne is 21.
I think. Yeah, 21.
I'm like nauseous.
Mm-hmm.
They have so much time.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Roxanne's getting called up, which is even more stupid. I do think it's cool that
they can't put the title on Ivy Nile. She has to feud with her tag partner who just turned on her tonight for no reason.
And I would argue that went the wrong way. Ivy Nile not saying anything and just going out and beating asses. I'm so unbelievably in on that in a second. But she's tiny, which means she's cute, which means she has to be a face. I'm just like...
She was great when she was a heel when she debuted, when Diamond Mine were heels.
She was awesome.
Under the auspices of Roderick Strong. By the way, whatever happened to Roderick Strong? But like, I don't know, man. This is just bad. Okay, I have to read some of these. By the way, Super Chats and Humper Chats are great. So here we go. Jeremy Pringle says, Alex, the King of Sours, Kate, the Queen of Wrestling, Papa Paul, Elizabeth, the Benevolent, Beard Jammer, Jake from State Farm, Sisters of Cease and Desist, Luis, and all the SGS. Kiss me, I'm disgruntled. Yes, we're all disgruntled. Paul Elizabeth says, happy Tuesday, Team Kalex. Greetings to Sir JW, the sisters, the council, Alpha Bill, Hair Normus, and all the SGS. Choreographed by Supermod Luis. And we're getting all kinds of praise for your rant.
Oh, thank
Robert
you.
Lyle says, "Bravo, Kate. That was like a Warheads level of sourness." On a positive note, the bangs are banging tonight. Well, of course
Thank
they
you.
are.
Thank
Alpha
you.
Bill
Thanks,
says
great
that I
info.
am the Vigo the Carpathia of sour graps, that I will turn anyone to become enthralled. And Mr. Showtime says, "Preach, Kate. Love ya, SGS Fuffa for life." Tom LaValle says, "Standing ovation for Kate here. I'm so proud, and you could see the joy in Kate's sour. It warms the cockles of my heart. You love to see it." And CO says, HBK says the Fightful post show will crack any minute. Like, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to bring us down. Purple Monkey Dishwasher.
Also bringing his ratings down. So right on, brother.
And Taylor Cannon, who's a 19-month member of the Fightful main roster on YouTube, says, "I'll just say this. Thank you for watching NXT, so I don't have to."
Never more than normally I'm like, oh haha. Today I'm like, you're welcome, because it was a chore.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, Alex, we're 20 minutes into the show.
Right.
Are you gonna turn on me by now?
No, I'm not gonna turn on you. I'm not gonna turn on you. No.
Really?
No.
Are we not best friends?
We're gonna save that for sweeps week.
I'll see you at Stand and Deliver.
That's right. At the biggest Stand and Deliver ever. It's the third one.
It's the third one.
It's the third one, and one of them was 2 nights.
Was one of them in a pandemic? No. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. It was. Yeah. One of them was in the Thunderdome, I believe, or whatever they called it. Orion Ben says, "Shouldn't have been intelligently cleared to watch, not cosmetically cleared, but intelligently cleared."
That popped me so hard yesterday, and that was about the only thing I liked on Raw. So,
Jake Salazar says, "Alex, what happened that had you done on Twitter?" There's a fantastic follow. Everybody go follow at Effin Birds on Twitter. It's EFFIN Birds.
He loves his
Twitter.
birds.
They put out beautiful drawings of birds, and it's like the bird is saying, "Fuck it, I'm so done with this." And everything that they say, like, I hate this, I hate all of this. There are wonderful ones that they have that you just like save as a bookmark or save it to your phone and pull out anytime you dismiss a troll in your mentions with like, I can see the ditch shits have logged on for today, and then you post that, mute, block, and move on. It's great. But I love them. So I found one of mine that I love, which is just, "Fuck it, I'm done." It's just a rooster just saying, "Fuck it, I'm done." And I posted that when Grayson Waller was beating the hell out of Johnny Gargano while his professional wrestler wife just watched going, "Please, no, please stop. You're going to hurt him."
Oh no.
So that's why. JB Pringle says they have the nerves to call the department creative. Make this a shirt. It's true. It's true. That is a quote from Kate. Make that a shirt. Okay. So that was all we got, right? Was something on Twitter, right? And then they showed the video of what happened last week where she collapsed or whatever, and they carted her out on a stretcher, put her in an ambulance, drove her away. They showed that, and I guess they said like we will be qualified. I missed it. Whatever happened, I missed it. It was so brief that I missed it, and I was watching because I wanted to see it. And Johnny Gargano comes out to do his Johnny Gargano Speaks segment. I was like, you needed to do something here. Be like, hey, here's an update. Everyone who isn't on Twitter, which is a surprisingly large amount of people.
Well, especially when their demographic 65 and up.
Exactly.
They're like, what? Twitter? I don't know.
Everyone would like an update on the brightest young star in your company who is the champion who collapsed in front of us last week. And so you showed the video, but then they do the thing where you have, I meant this as a joke. I put in the chat just have Shawn Michaels like read his tweets out loud or something to like give us an update about what's going on. And they actually had him read his tweets out loud. I didn't mean that. I just meant him like basically say what you said in the tweets. Don't read them out loud. Was just ridiculous.
I think as much as they've blocked you, I think they just watch everything that you say. Somehow, I think they're trying to get you to turn into Charlie Day and It's Always Sunny when he has the Carol and HR thing behind him. Just the red string behind you. I'm like
in that case, they had they must have had somebody spying in our group chat because it's just you and me and Luis in there when I was like, please, just what is going on?
Here's a peek behind the curtain for you.
Yeah.
Alex said before we went on, because Luis is wonderful, he sends us our super chat document in advance of the show. Alex was like, I had to scroll back because we were just talking about how bad the show was to go find the link to our super chat document.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, they didn't do any of that. And they just had, they didn't like really talk about what happened to Roxanne or this cockamamie, harebrained idea to what to do with the title. Well, you don't know what's wrong with her, so we don't know when she's going to be cleared. So how about this? Because you 30 days, like she defended the title last week. She has 30 days. You never actually abide by that rule, but in the rule book, it says 30 days. So how about you do a number one contenders match in this? You qualify everybody for that. And the winner of that ladder match will be the one to take on Roxanne, right? Like you do that, but they're not doing that because they're going to do the thing where Roxanne comes in at the last minute and is, because if you notice in the graphic, they have 3 spots for the ladder match in the graphic. It's Zoe Stark wins a match tonight. Gigi Dolan wins a match tonight versus ? And that's it. There's no versus twice. It's just versus once. So they have 3 people on the graphic. They've never done a 3-person ladder match. It's always 4 at the very least. So guess usually who the last one is going to be? It's going to be Roxanne. It's just so weird. That's just so weird. So they didn't do any of that. And they just jumped right into Johnny Gargano's promo, which was very good. Up until it wasn't, because then they did this ridiculous thing with Grayson Waller. I didn't watch. Apparently, he was actually live. He was on Instagram Live, and what was he? They said he's in your house. Like Vic Joseph said, "Hey Johnny, he's in your house." Is that my house? Yeah, dude, he's in your house because Vic Joseph and Johnny Gargano are good friends. So he's in your house, but later. We just see him sitting in a car at the street, and he never makes it into the house. Johnny's like really good. Candace and Quill, they're there. They're home. I gotta go. I gotta go. I'm gotta do something. But he never actually gets into the house on camera. And so like, did he get into the house for the Instagram Live and then leave the house to go sit in the car outside? What? Why? What is no? What the home invasion angle? The home invasion angle is, I think, is played out. Like you can't. It's so kayfabe. You can't make anybody believe anyone's actually in danger. Like back with like Brian Pillman and Stone Cold, all the way up to like Triple H and Randy Orton. That felt palpable because it was a different time. Now everyone knows everything's fucking bullshit. So like you can't make anybody feel like, oh no, what'll happen? Is Grayson Waller gonna murder Johnny Gargano's wife and child? Like, no, nobody thinks that. It's just dumb. So don't do it.
Well, so part of the bummer was I actually liked where Gargano's promo was going. He had said, there's a lot of talk about finishing stories, and I'm here to finish mine. He said, look what Grayson Waller did with all the momentum that he had coming out of attacking me. Oh, wait, no, he's just been a big loser the whole time. Here you go, Alex. You know why Grayson Waller wasn't a threat? Because if he wanted to do something to Candice LeRae, he'd have to leave the house first and come back in to hit his finisher. She could just close the door.
It's good. That's good. You got me there.
I fully believe Candice LeRae could kick Grayson Waller's ass with a kid in her hand.
I do.
This was so dumb and such a stupid. Oh, it was just so dumb. It was just so dumb. Like, Imagine if this segment ended with Grayson Waller just coming out and confronting Johnny Gargano.
This is what I saw on Twitter, was that the Instagram feed looked like Waller was in Gargano's living room watching Gargano on NXT on the Gargano family television. So if that was the case on Instagram Live, did he then switch off the TV, go outside and sit in his car and wait for Johnny to get there? That's dumb. Just like, all I ask is these sentient adults who are ostensibly running this fucking company think for 5 fucking seconds before you greenlight anything.
Alex, they don't have a lot of resources. They're only $1 billion company.
I know. GM Bridge says, did you hear the one fan yell out, "I'll get the car, Johnny"? No, I did not hear that, but that's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Johnny Gargano leaving, and Mackenzie tries to interview him. Was like, I gotta go. I gotta leave. And here's the thing. I did like this, and then they blew it. Like, that's the thing about it with WWE, especially NXT. Hey, that was a good thing. Too bad right after they blew it. Mackenzie telling the camera guy, follow him.
She's getting really good at her job.
Follow him and get some good shots of what's about to happen. That's what she said to the camera guy. And so then the problem with that is when Johnny gets to the house, the cameraman's already there. So he didn't follow Johnny. He must have gotten the Waze app on his phone, and he figured out the shortcuts to get to Johnny's house before Johnny could get there, because he was already posted up in the front yard when Johnny pulled up. And Johnny left like a full minute and a half before that guy did. So what you needed to have happen was for that guy to pull up, and Johnny and Grayson were already fighting. And that guy gets out of the car with his camera to videotape it. Like, that's what you showed us, Johnny leaving, and then the guy leaving what had to have been minutes later. You can't show us then him standing there watching Johnny show up. That's
Alex,
just pick one.
You're a father and a husband.
I am.
To poor women who are sick all the time in your house. If you found out someone might be on their way to break into your house, you would probably want to go there and beat their ass. But might you think I perhaps should call the cops on my way?
But that's the thing. It's too personal for the cops to be involved. No, I'm going to do it because I'm a man who's going to protect my family. Johnny Gargano, all 5'6" and 160 pounds of him. I'm a man. I'm going to protect my family. Oh, my sweet, precious, fragile wife, who couldn't possibly. What's going to happen if Grayson Waller gets in the house? My wife, she'll just faint away. As Chi-Town Spurs says, she got kicked in the face with a shoe full of tacks. And then Luis helps out and says, not just any shoe, a fucking Air Force One, which has a thick ass sole full of tacks. So when Johnny gets there, Grayson Waller jumps him, and then they have like a weird yard fight with like a rake and an empty plastic garbage can, and then Candace comes out halfway out the door and goes, "Johnny?" And he goes, "Get back in the house." Like, Candace was like, okay, listen, it's one thing you want me to help, but there's no way I'm going to stand for my husband telling me to get back in the house. I'm sorry. I've seen their Instagram stuff. She wears the pants in that family. Johnny Gargano people like, get back in the house. Like, oh, sure, I'll get in the house. No, she would like, here's the thing. If she goes back in the house, put the baby in its crib.
That's all I ask. Put the kid down.
The hell out of him with a fucking broom or whatever. You keep kendo sticks in there, Candace. She's got Air Force Ones full of text herself, just walking around. She does. Valab says Candace turned into canned ice. No emotion.
Why would she? Why would you try if you're Candice LeRae at this point when you've been reduced to wife of Johnny Gargano?
Why, Mrs. Gargano? That's a lot of what she was in NXT, which is why it sucked. Like, I know she's an amazing wrestler. I've seen stuff that she did before she got to WWE, but like,
Even some of the stuff she did while she was in WWE. She had some really incredible matches.
Yes.
It was just the matches were so insane there. Sometimes they got lost in the shuffle, I think.
Yeah.
She's a damn fine wrestler.
And
she's also, by the way, doesn't come across as a fucking idiot.
No.
She would think to put her kid down and call the police. She would think to go out and kick Grayson Waller's ass.
Right.
She would think to tell the cameraman to do something. I'd stand there helpless.
Jambeard says the real Candice LeRae would have broken off a piece of the stair railing to beat Waller.
Yep.
It's true.
Yep.
It's true.
Also, isn't Grayson Waller's whole thing that he's kind of a little bitch?
Yeah.
Like he's a chicken shit. Like he runs away all the time.
He is. Jambeard says as a callback, they should have had Waller in the house dressed up as Ghostface from Scream, since that was a thing that the Way did. So yeah, maybe.
That would have required creativity.
Yeah, thought. That would have required thought. No, because there was no thought put into this whatsoever. It's I was gonna say it's borderline offensive. It's fucking offensive. What they did to Candice LeRae in this segment. Like
what they've done to Candice LeRae since she's come back.
This is not like
go out and lose matches and don't be your own person has been her entire thing since she's come back.
This is not Samoa Joe showing up to AJ Styles' house.
No.
And going, Wendy. This is not that. This is not what that is, because Candice LeRae is not Wendy. Candice LeRae will fuck your shit up.
Also, no offense to Grayson Waller, you ain't Samoa Joe.
Oh yeah, no. If this thing was an Impact Wrestling, then they just have a match between Candice LeRae and Grayson Waller, and she'd kick his ass.
Oh, if it was Impact Wrestling, someone would have been murdered.
Yep.
They kill people on that show all the time.
That's true. It's
like my favorite thing about Impact. I find it hilarious that if you get a contract somewhere else, the way that you get kicked out is murder, and they willingly take people back all the time who move on from WWE.
Yeah. Impact had Cody Deaner stab Eric Young to death on the last episode of 2022. Yeah, that's true. Yep, they did. I don't know, man. This is just Johnny ended up getting his ass beat by also the baby is out there.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. Now the baby's not going to remember this, or the baby's going to be traumatized for life. One of the two things, because the baby just turned 1, and I saw somebody on Twitter said, I hope they explained to the kid what was happening before it happened. The kid just turned 1. You can't explain anything to that kid at that age. So that kid just watched his father get beaten almost to death by a man he doesn't know, while his mother stood there and didn't do anything. That kid's going to need therapy for the rest of his life.
No, what though? Johnny and Candace's kid, I think that kid is already like, oh, okay. And then my dad's going to get his redemption shot. I think that kid is already smartened up to wrestling. That kid is sitting at home at 1 year old watching our show, being like, I agree. Clowns.
Robert Lyle, helpfully, fantasy books some stuff. Gargano loses to Waller. Depressed, Gargano becomes a lunch lady. Ciampa pulls him out of his funk, and Gargano super kicks the chef. Shawn Michaels says that's some great shit. Now he becomes a lunch lady is good, because then they can team him up with what Vince wanted to do, I'm sure, from the beginning with Tommaso Ciampa, which was Luigi the Pizza Man. We already have a Luigi the Pizza Man on the Indies, but
we do.
But basically, they'll listen. They already stole Max the Impaler's gimmick for Valhalla. They have no problem stealing Luigi the Pizza Man's gimmick for Tommaso Ciampa. It's everything's bad. This is all bad. This makes me really upset that they brought Johnny Gargano back to do this angle when I was excited for it. Now I'm upset that they did it because of this.
If they had just done a promo where Grayson Waller just came out and did his dumb Grayson Waller stuff, I would have been like, some Grayson Waller stuff, but that was a great promo by Gargano. It's not even about Gargano. It's like what they did to Candice that I'm like.
Candice was busy holding Quill back because Quill was going to tear his head.
she didn't want her baby to do time for killing Gargano, like, you know, because just like in Con Air, Quill's hands are registered lethal weapons, and as such, you are not subject to the same laws that most of us are. If he had actually killed Garswaller, which he would have, I mean, he's Quill, then he would have had to go to jail for life, just like Cameron Poe in the movie Con Air.
Yeah, one cravat from Quill and it's over.
Yeah, that's true. Meet Norma says, why would the Gargano's call the cops when they can't even secure a parking lot? Well, I think that's private security and not the cops.
Yeah, that's like Securitas or whatever.
And then he asks,
don't call the cops.
Is the big boss man still with us? He asks, and the answer is no. No, Ray Traylor died a long time ago. It would be kind of cool if he could show up and beat up Grayson Waller.
Phil said Quill or be killed.
That's good. That's good. Quill or be killed. That's very good. Okay, so Scripps did a promo.
This was the only thing I was excited about the whole night, and it was for all the wrong reasons.
So I don't know, like, why. This is very good. Send Quill.
No, you got an HBK avatar.
I'm so sorry, Mr. Showtime.
That's gonna be next. Carmelo Hayes is gonna win the title and start doing the stupid pose.
Quill is gonna quill you. Quill is gonna quill you.
Quill puns. Send them in. Quill pens. Quill the baby.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Well, I was gonna do Disney since Kiana James is apparently having an affair with a Disney character. So.
Oh, good call. Disney puns. We'll
Disney
get there.
puns. We'll get there. But start throwing in Disney puns, people.
Oh my God, and St. Patrick's Day. We didn't even.
Jam Beard, really important question, though. What's the puns tonight? We need a pun theme. Okay, Disney characters, also Irish things.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Alex, when they're Irish ones, you have to you got to put the glasses back on.
Okay.
That's how we get back to fun.
So Darren Lloyd says Jesse Ventura used the Megatron voice app tonight. Because it's no longer like the regular, like, you know, voice distortion. They made him talk like he was a robot. And Scripps has been doing stuff exclusively on Level Up, but now he's coming after Axiom. So like, if you were like, you know what I don't like? Flippy stuff. Well, then that is not the match for you.
If you are not Flippy Dubious.
Because one of those guys, that's all he does. Literally, all he does is flip. His offense is very moonsault based.
Well, if there's anything we know about our beloved Scripps, it's that he's got moonsault based offense.
That's true.
We'll see what Axiom can do with him, because we'll see what Axiom can do with him. I don't know how I feel about, like, oh my God.
So Shawn Michaels, who literally, I'm having a shoot feud with that guy, because I honestly don't know what he's doing, booking all the risk crap all over the show. But he says, "Hey Scripps, why don't you sit in a dark closet and we're gonna shoot you from behind, and you'll just see your back. You're gonna write some poetry or something in the journal. I don't know what. You're crumple up a bunch of pieces of paper and then they start talking, and I was like, okay, I'll just about anything. Like, yeah, it doesn't matter, just meandering nothingness basically. And so I just started talking about, you know, I'm coming after you, man's wearing masks and whatnot. And then later they showed me the finished product, and I was like, why did you make me sound like I was, you know, whatever his name is, Optimus Prime or whatever. And I was like, I don't know. Am I a transformer, Sean? You got to tell me these things, because I thought I was this flippy-doo masked man fella, and you're making me into a transformer or a GoBot or whatever those guys are back from the 80s.
Jess, do you think this is a conspiracy theory?
No, it's got to be. You know, most of those things are. You know, the things now with the you know, with the you know, it's all the things with all the conspiracy theories. You know, like it's the Lincoln assassination. The whole thing was a conspiracy. He's still alive today. He lives with my neighbor.
Oh, he's still alive today.
He's very old.
Any word on Don Wilkes Booth?
No, that guy. I mean, he was all. He was an actor. John
I heard
Wilkes
that,
Booth was an
yeah.
actor, so they hired the guy to play assassinate Abraham. Abraham just wanted to retire, because he was under a lot of stress and whatever. So yeah, nope. He's my next door neighbor.
Well, that's pretty cool. What a fun fact about scripts that we learned today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm sorry about your feud with.
Listen, this Shawn Michaels, I'm done, dude. HBK.
Has he blocked you on Twitter?
You know what his name is? A horrible bad kid. That's what I call him.
Oh, yo, that's a sick bird.
Oh, he blocked me on Twitter a long time ago. You know why? Because I said I liked Brett.
That's
all
why
you gotta do.
Got blocked.
And I wasn't even talking about Hart. I just said I like Brett.
Oh, really? It wasn't even about...
I was talking to Brett Favre when he was quarterback for the Vikings. I was like, I like Brett. I mean, don't like him when he was in Packers, but I liked him when he was, the Vikings. I said, I like Brett. And he was like, I blocked you. And I was like, no, I'm talking about Favre.
Ugh, I'm sorry for the misunderstanding. It seems like you've had a few of those.
It's true. I mean, it's all those kind of things. It's terrible.
Well, how was your time on Level Up?
They got me in there just flippy and around and stuff. I don't even know who I'm in there with half the time. All these kids, they don't know what they're doing. It's not their fault. Nobody teaches them anything. So I'm in there trying to teach them the finer points of poison and doing things.
Sure. Any boas on the Level Up?
They confiscate them when I get into the building. They don't want me using the boas, and I'm like, no, but I think it could actually work.
I don't know. I feel like you're getting the raw end of the deal here, Scripts. You don't get your boas. They keep telling you the wrong location of things.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
They have this whole conspiracy theory where you record normal stuff and they make it a robot voice.
It's true. It's terrible.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just don't think I'm cut up for this. I mean, you know what I think they should do? They should hire somebody else to play scripts from now on.
No, there can only be one.
Nope, I think they should hire. Listen, I'll be around. I'll watch the product. I'll come in and give my 2 cents. But I think they should hire somebody. I'm going to go into HBK's horrible bad kids office tomorrow, and I'm going to be like, you know what? You hire somebody else to do it. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, maybe that Reggie fella who's been sniffing around. Maybe you just give him the job and then I'll go away. Maybe you find somebody else that I can play.
That'll never work.
I don't know.
For this bit, for no other reason.
I don't know. It's just,
maybe you could be like Jesse the Body Sin Cara or something if you want to.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that a lot.
Get a little trampoline entrance.
Yeah, well, because I have learned how to do all the flips and stuff. So
exactly, we don't want that to go to waste.
I don't know. It's just I'm kind of depressed. It's just,
I get it. I get it.
Anyway,
well, I'm sorry to hear that, but hey, thanks for hacking in. We appreciate it.
All right. Well, I'll talk to you next week probably.
Sure. Hey, have a green beer for St. Patrick's Day, would you?
No, that's a conspiracy too.
Oh, it is.
Yep.
Why is it green? It's not just food dye?
No, it's frog juice.
It's frog juice.
That's
hey,
right.
Is that the case with the Shamrock Shake?
No, that's I won't even tell you what that is.
Oh, okay. I don't want to know.
You don't.
I find that things associated with Shamrock Shakes these days don't really make me very happy anymore.
No, you don't. You do not want to know what's in a Shamrock Shake. Let me tell you. Whew. Anyway, bye. What?
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. What happened?
You missed a good one.
Did I? Okay. Well.
Did you know that green beer for St. Patrick's Day is frog juice?
Seems legit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. I mean, I don't drink the stuff, so there you go. Yeah. So Alpha Bill says, think for 5 seconds. New WWE HR mantra.
No.
The HR mantra. Yep. No, it's true. Hold on. Hey, did you hear what John Cena had to say today?
I sure did.
You know what Linda had to think about that?
Oh, what did Linda have to say?
Don't. Anyway.
Not John Cena's best.
So anyway, yes, Jamie, Shamrock Shake is a terrible wrestler. That's the point. Okay, so here we go. That so then so that's the thing. How Scripps did a thing. The first match of the night that we're even discussing an hour and 50 minutes into this thing, Gallus defeated Pretty Deadly.
This was a really good match.
That's a good match. Gallus won. Pretty Deadly was then interviewed afterwards, and were very upset that they were being asked mean questions. And then they were like, you know what we should do, because we're so entertaining, we should be the hosts of Stand and Deliver. So they went, and apparently they talked to HBK, Horrible Bad Kid, and
you heard?
I listen. I hear things, you know. So anyway, so they went to talk to Horrible Bad Kid, and Horrible Bad Kid apparently said yes, because then they came out later and they said that they were fine. Yeah, there you go.
He can't make matches, but he's got his Stand and Deliver hosts lined up, don't he?
I like this one. Louisville says Celtic Talk Tag Team. Celtic Talk. That's
he's got good ones. He's a
good.
funny dude. You're a funny dude.
Lau, okay. So we find out pretty quick who I guess is coming for the tag team titles in a fun little segment that does not make sense. So Tony D'Angelo, who I will remind you is playing a babyface now. Like he's tweener, but he's basically he loves his underlings so much that he would sacrifice everything for him. Like he's a good dude who happens to also be a mob boss. So he comes up and he's walking up to Bron Breakker and he's like, "Hey, I know you got that big contract signing with Melo tonight. You want us to take care of him for you? Want us to take him out?" And then Bron starts just listing all the Italian stereotypes he possibly can. To which Tony D'Angelo just gives him this look.
That killed me.
Which was very funny. But it's like, it's like, hey, wait, you got to get him some cement shoes. You gotta leave the gun, take the cannoli.
They really wanted us to know Bron Breakker has a personality.
They really did. They really tried. And so he was like, listen, I appreciate the offer, guys, but I'm going to handle this on my own. So he's like, oh, all right, fine. So then Tony D'Angelo walks away, and then Tony D'Angelo says to Stax, I think it's time we get some new gold for the family. And Stax is like, oh, so are we going to take on the winner of Carmelo Hayes and Bron Breakker? They're like, no. Oh, so are we going to answer the open challenge for Wes Lee? No. Oh, so what are we going to do? I said we got to get some new gold. The tag team titles, that's what we're coming after. And I was like, I don't understand why this segment exists. You could easily have Tony D'Angelo and Stax like come for the tag team titles without going to talk to Bron Breakker first. But like the way he says to Bron Breakker, we're going to get some gold. Oh, you mean the guy we just talked to? Because that's the only reason we had this segment was to introduce a possible conflict between us and that guy. No, why would you think that? That is ridiculous. I mean, this completely unrelated thing over here. That's what we're going to do. I don't understand who is writing this. I enjoyed the segment, but having this be the reason that Tony D'Angelo, you know what this just reminded me of? This thing that is entirely unrelated to what we've been talking about. Like, why would you do that? That doesn't make any sense.
I think they said we want to put Tony D on the show.
Yeah, I guess.
For 2 minutes. It did pop me, though.
It was a fun segment.
Because all those stereotypes work when he is a mob boss. You know what I mean? He's not an Italian dude and people are picking on him. Like, he's a mob boss in NXT. So you can kind of be like, what do you swim with the fishes? Sure, because you told us that somebody swam with the fishes that was in your own group. So I I'll put it this way. In this episode of NXT, I'll freaking take it.
Right. No, I get it. I just want things to make sense, Kate.
I just want to smile.
John Wick, this is better. Horrible booking kid. And that is his new name. Thank you, John Wick, 1GM. That is his new name. That is how we will always call him HBK, but we will at least once episode remind you that stands for horrible booking kid, because that is what he is.
I suck at booking. We could change his theme.
Now we have to write a new theme.
Suck at booking.
The docks sound way safer than the parking lot. It's true.
It's very true.
That's true.
True.
That's very, very true. So Double Vest and the Horse Girl decide they're going to do a clandestine, spy mission to find out what Kiana James is hiding. We have to sneak into the porn accountant's office to find, never sneak into a porn accountant's office. You never know what you're going to find. But they decided to do that. She's dressed.
You know exactly what you're going to find. It's a black leather couch.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Yep. Yeah. So the filing cabinet does not have filing things in it.
It sure doesn't.
No, it does not. It's mostly lubes. So the she's clowning on Double Vest because he's wearing a ghillie suit, like he's going deer hunting or something, which I thought was funny. Because she is dressed like she's all in black, tight-fitting clothes, and over and this is listen, I'm camouflaged. Nobody can see me. Not in an office building, and she is in an office building that everything is painted white, and she's wearing black, so she really blends in too. Yeah, so they were able to sneak in. She knows how to pick a lock with a hairpin, because of course she does. But anyway, once they're in there, they're trying to find this. They find the planner, and she's been dating somebody named Sebastian behind Beach's back.
Sure,
and
Alex.
the only Sebastian I know is the one who sings Under the Sea. So
I know Lil Sebastian from Parks and Rec.
It's possible. Yeah, that might be it too. But listen, here's the deal. If we were looking for some kind of confirmation, maybe it's not the Saudis who are buying it. I think it's Disney. They're going to do a big crossover where she's dating not the Sebastian that you and I know and love, but the new one from the movie that looks horrifying, where they just put weird cartoon eyes on an actual crab. And she's going to be dating him next episode. So they're going to go out to dinner and have drinks. It's going to be great.
So this is going to be another play with Kiana James where they're like, we caught you. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be like, no, I have to sing Kiss the Girl while you guys are on your gondola ride.
Yeah.
Ow, wow. They're going to be like, and what are all these birds doing? And they're going to be like, wah, 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 wah.
That's where it's hotter, under the water. Anyway.
Under the sea.
So yes, she's dating someone named Sebastian. So they also find a signed contract that says Kiana James is going to be in one of the qualifying matches later in the night, and Fallon is upset by this because, hey, you should tell your partner that if you're going to be in this thing, I guess you want more gold for yourself. But this is I guess Kiana James has actually improved a lot. I guess I could see her in this match. And then they immediately after were like, hey, here's a three-way match for the number one contendership for the tag titles. And I was like, oh, so Kiana James is not doing double duty at Stand and Deliver, so she's losing her qualifying match. Can you just figure out any way of making anything
put it in a different order on this episode?
It's just so weird, but they don't know how to do this. And so they've decided they're going to go back and confront her. But they have their phones off because both Beej and Porn Accountant are calling them, trying to find out where they are for hours. And I guess that they never respond to any texts and stuff.
So here's the thing. You're right that she's not going to do double duty at stand and deliver.
Mhm.
And sometimes it's difficult to do.
Mhm.
Some people can't even stand and deliver just the first time around.
Just the one time, yeah, that's true.
Sometimes can't really just even stand, and it affects how you deliver.
Right.
And you need a little help.
Yeah.
And that's perfectly fine. Maybe you do want to stand and deliver twice. I don't know, but Bluechew is here to help you, and Sean's going to tell you all about it.
You know we care about that performance in wrestling, that main event performance. But maybe in the bedroom you don't have the confidence to perform. Bluechew.com and the code FIGHTFUL will help get you there. It's got the same active ingredients as Viagra and Cialis, so you know it works. You know it's that good stuff. But it works on your schedule, or maybe when you're not even ready and you want to get there. You consult with the online physician. You don't have to wait in line at the pharmacy. You don't have to wait in line at the doctor's office. No awkward in-person meeting. And if approved, it ships straight to your door in a discreet package. But there will be nothing discreet about your package when you use BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL. But you know what? How about free? Get your first shipment free when you use the code FIGHTFUL. Just pay $5 shipping. BlueChew.com and the code FIGHTFUL. Get that main event performance.
Anyway, Jam Beard says hashtag Beach Prawn, and Chris Mueller says it would be ironic if Kiana broke up with her horse girl tag team partner to date a mini horse named Lil Sebastian, but I wouldn't put it past NXT.
Bye, bye, little Sebastian. Were you not a Parks and Rec fan?
I mean, I watched like the first couple of seasons, and then I missed a season. I came back in, I was like, who are all these people? And I never got back into it.
He's better than 10,000 Candles in the Wind is all you need to know.
All right. Jambeer says, I would have thought as a prawn accountant she'd be able to do double duty with no problems. Ayo. Kim Grace says Kate needs to sing more Disney songs on Tuesdays, especially ones that have a chorus of birds.
I am very proud of my bird sound effect. I will let you guys know that Papa Elizabeth in the chat over there subjected to many a car ride with me and my sister singing Disney songs. We didn't have TVs in the back of our cars. It wasn't fancy like that. Does it killer Gaston? Does it killer? I'm trying to think of other Disney characters. I always had to sing all the like Simba parts because my sister took all the girl parts.
Right. That's true. I love that Luis is helpful. Like they did not turn off their phones because Horse Girl took a picture of the planner. So WTF are they smoking in creative? I don't know. Yes, yeah, Michael Grimm says it's Disney puns and also Irish puns, St. Patrick's Day puns.
You have multiple Irish classes.
Here's a few of them. Bobby Sands of Time from Chi-Town. Henry T. Casey says NXT presents St. Patrick's Day Crapsicker.
Yeah,
not massacre, Crapsicker. Chi-Town Spurs says corned beef Nash Carter, or Kevin corned beef Nash is also very good.
That does work.
Meat Norma says Sheamus's favorite foods: bangers and mash.
Bangers after bangers.
Come out, ye house of black and tans. Chi-Town Spurs says, "Ooh, up the raw." I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is, Chi-Town. Ricardo says, Candice Parfait. Candice, but Candy Parfait, which is Disney or is that Irish? I don't know which one that is. Tom Lavallee says, the Magic Kingdom OGK, give Maria the spell book.
They already are in that women's division, I'll tell you what.
Chi-Town Spurs says the red right invisible hand, Don Callis. Electric Mayhem says Eddie O'Kingston. Eddie O'Kingston. My favorite Irish.
I will pay you a super chat's worth of money if you can do an Irish Eddie Kingston. I have no idea how you do that.
Redeem these nuts, partner.
Eh.
No, I can't. Not really good. Nope, can't do it.
Not worth my
Meet,
super chat money.
not worth it. Meet Norma says my favorite Irish wrestler, Kenny Omega.
Oh, that's very good.
Yeah,
that's very good.
Electric Mayhem says McMang. Which is not to be confused with how Razor Ramon said McMahon.
That's right.
Which was McMang. And Jesse Ozog says Rick O'Shea.
Ricky
The
O'Shea.
high flyer, Rick O'Shea. And Robert Lyle says Don Haggis, which is Scottish, but I'll accept it. Chi-Town Spurs says Sinn Féin maker. Not a pain maker, but the Féin maker. Sinn Féin, of course, is the political party in Ireland. T. Electric Mayhem says sheep herder hawk and sheep herder animal. And Chris Pereira says Steamboat Willie Hobbs. That's a very good. That's an old school Disney pun. So this is where they bring on a doctor.
Oh my God. How is Fallon Henley and that whole storyline like the fourth worst thing on the show?
So true. So he's like, he's South African. Like I when I was in grad school, as part of my dialect work, I studied South African. It's an incredibly difficult accent to master. Spent like weeks on it. So I can no longer duplicate it, but I can spot it.
My God, we found his kryptonite.
It's like I can no longer duplicate it, but I can spot it immediately. I'm like, oh, that's South African. There's what is it called? They called there's a specific word for the Dutch in South Africa that had this specific accent.
Don't even get me started on Dutch.
Mm-mm.
It's a whole Red Dead Redemption stream I can't even talk about.
So there's no Micah accent, thank God. But anyway, so it was very odd that I was like immediately like, did this guy immigrate from South Africa to start a practice in Orlando? Afrikaner, thank you, Mix Chewy. Afrikaner, that's what they call it. The Afrikaans dialect, and it's incredibly intricate and just but I'm like, oh, wow, why is that guy South African? I don't know. And it made me obsessed. I was obsessed with it when I was watching this segment. I was like, why is this guy South African? I need this guy's backstory. I don't understand. But anyway,
hearing you talk about it in your extremely Irish glasses is phenomenal.
He says that that they couldn't figure out what was wrong with her. So therefore, something had to be wrong with her. So therefore, we have to not allow her to wrestle until we figure out what it is. And I'm like, well, why don't you call House and get it over with? Okay. Like,
great show. Couldn't it be possible she just fainted?
I mean, the whole thing is that they say she wasn't dehydrated. She didn't have any brain injuries they could find if they did a CT scan. They couldn't find anything wrong with like any kind of heart arrhythmia. They do not know why she fainted.
My God, she lost her smile.
That's what it is. So yeah. Oh, there we go. That's very good. Diplomatic immunity from Lethal Weapon 2. Very good. So yeah, I don't. So this is they found some quack to allow them to strip the title from Roxanne Perez. I don't know what is up with it. Like, they listen. I don't know if she started like an OnlyFans or what's going on, but it is very odd that like they had Mandy Rose hold the title for a year, and then they like had her drop it because they had to fire her, and then Roxanne's had it for what, a month and a half.
It does feel knee-jerk-ish, but my hope is that she didn't get her bell rung on that scorpion kick, because that was nasty, and the apron spot was too. But if it's not that, I really think it's just an angle for her to valiantly come back in time for the ladder match.
I mean, like that's she's just booking too much.
Yeah, like, it's NXT.
But like have her be I don't know, man. None of it makes sense to me. I'll never. Yeah, I don't know.
Shawn Michaels, the horrible booking kid, tunes in at the end of the show to listen to Papa Pulowski, and then he writes down everything, and then he goes and sorts out what he thinks he says, and he books it. There you go.
Well, see, Luis is saying it's the same angle as the North American title from when Solo won the title, except it wasn't a kayfabe injury involved.
They were just like passing out, brain injury,
that's the main deal for me. That's why it's different. But like, Jake Salazar says it smells like Vince in here. Well, yeah, it could be. Jaron Lloyd says, why do they have to do vacating title angles lead to a ladder match than just putting a champ in the ladder match? I don't know. I don't understand. Tom Lavallee says, wait, so Roxy lost her smile already? I mean, this is just the way it works. Yeah.
She didn't lose her title, though. That's the thing. She's having it stripped of her. I actually think this is so that they can make her a 2-time champion.
So
don't have her start racking them up.
Artificial.
Or they'll have Tiffany Stratton go over and she'll come back and chase. I never lost that title. Again, can't believe this is considered the same thing that I watch on Thursdays.
No. Zoe Stark beat Sol Ruca.
Really good match.
It was a really good match. I loved the finish. I love that they've established now Zoe Stark can clamp that move on you, the one that she did, her awesome like flippy do GTS. She like Sol Ruca jumped at her from doing a springboard, and she like just caught her. And then flipped her over and hit her in the that's it. Like
she's insanely strong to be able to do that. That's crazy.
Yes. I love establishing that move as you were winning. You had a flurry of offense back to back, but I was able to gather myself long enough to hit you with one move and you're done. That is the kind of move that should be. Like you don't need to I'm doing my comeback now. I'm going to hit you with this and then this and then this. And now you're staggering around and I'm going to do no. If I can hit you with this, you are gone. It is that move feels like it's not as out of nowhere specifically as the RKO, but it should feel like, oh, well, that's it. That's the end of the match. That you just did that out of the, and I think that it works really well. Yeah. I think Zoe's great. If Zoe were to win the ladder match, I would have no problem with it because she's a great heel for Roxanne to then chase. If she's going to be in NXT for a while. But
she's who should get called up.
The thing of it is like the third person has to be Tiffany Stratton, right?
Yeah.
She was the one who was saying, hey, Roxanne, I'll see you at Stand and Deliver for a one-on-one match. But they didn't mention Tiffany Stratton tonight. They could have said next week, the final qualifying match is Tiffany Stratton versus whomever, but they didn't do that. And it was so odd that they didn't even mention her, even though we already knew the path we were on was Tiffany Stratton versus the winner of Miko versus Roxanne last week. And then they didn't mention Tiffany Stratton at all this week when they're setting up a ladder match to crown the new champion. Just bring it up. Interview her. Have her say toodles. Just
have her have a Tiffany epiphany.
Yeah, man. I don't know. The Twitter graphic has 4 people on it. Good. They've added somebody to that graphic now because it was just 3 before. So thank God they've actually changed it because that was ridiculous. So this match kind of dropped into our laps. We didn't know it was happening. At least they didn't advertise it to me. I didn't see it. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn versus the TikTok tag team, Caden and Katana versus Nyland Paxley for the number one contendership. Can't wait to see them break
up in 2.5 months.
Right. For the number one contendership for the tag team titles. I was like, oh, hey, this is happening. Okay, well, this makes sense because Isla Dawn and Alba Fire have been targeting both of them separately. So having them in a triple threat makes sense. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn win. They move on. They probably dethrone because can they coexist? Can a porn accountant and a horse girl coexist? Probably not. So this is how we'll have Alba Fire and Isla Dawn win, and then 2 weeks later they'll break up, and then we can move on from there. What I didn't reckon on, and I guess because you know what I do, I always say that I can't give WWE booking the benefit of the doubt, but I always don't think anyone could be this stupid. So I didn't assume we were going to have Tatum Paxley turn on Ivy Nile by like refusing to take a tag and then screaming at her, "We were never a team," and then abandoning her there to her fate. Like I didn't see that coming because, frankly, only an idiot or a crazy person would book it. So there you go.
I got news for you.
Yeah. Yep.
I did because of what they had earlier in the night where Ivy's hanging out with Diamond Mine. What? She has friends? I'm so annoyed.
Yeah.
Have Ivy turn heel. Like, here's an idea. Don't do this. But if you're gonna do it,
don't do it.
Have the little badass that looks like she could annihilate everybody turn heel. And Tatum's kind of likable. Like, she's really strong.
Yeah.
And she's very powerful. And I don't know. She just has a really likable disposition. Not that Ivy doesn't. But I want to see Ivy Nile with a mouthpiece destroy bitches.
Like that. Like when they first introduced her, like I was like, oh, that's really interesting. She's like 4'11", and I fully believe she would murder me in 6 seconds. I love this. And they're like, now she's like hey, everybody in Diamond Mine, can't we all just get along? I love everything.
She's a diamond mine.
She's not.
I fully believe she makes Julius Creed a peanut butter and jelly sandwich cut with no crusts and triangles before he goes out for his matches.
It's true. It's true. So we already know.
I just take them seriously as a tag team, considering they listen to Isla Dawn through a speaker.
Weird. So the Porn Accountant and Horse Girl have been tag teams, have been champion for 38 days.
They've hated each other every single day of that reign.
They're 38 days, and they are the 7th longest reigning NXT tag teams ever at 38 days. They have far surpassed Cora, Jade, and Roxy for 14 days. They believe they will reach Ember and Shotzi, which is 55 days. I don't think they'll make it that long.
No way. No way. No.
Well, see, maybe they will. That's 17 days. No, I think they'll lose at Stand and Deliver. So, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right.
One of them's gonna turn on them in the match.
Overall, all of the former tag teams champions, the TikTok tag team is that is in the longest reigning tag teams in WWE. Only one of them has not split, which is the TikTok tag team. They're the only ones that still exist, and there are only currently 6 teams. I would add 7, but they're not officially a tag team until next week, I guess. Alba and Isla, Prawn and Horse, Team Beckstream, the TikTok taggers, Damage Katarl, Shayna and Rhonda. And I would add Carmella and Chelsea Green to that. Even though they really have been part of a tag team feud or anything, but they're going to tag next week versus Can They Coexist, Asuka and Bianca. So I'm going to add them to it, but that's 7 women tag teams in all of WWE.
What about Raquel and a revolving door?
Raquel and a revolving door.
Natalia and a revolving door.
So let's say yes. So there's 7.5, including the Raquel tag team, and then 18, and then 9. Wait, I'm not sure. So there are 17 days left until Sign and Deliver. So they might be able to tie Ember and Shotzi.
I feel so
Natalia
bad if there's like
Natalia and Tegan right now, but who knows when that how long
Tegan
that's
was
going to last.
Liv's Morgan bestie like 4 weeks ago.
I
feel so bad if you're like a woman that has, I mean, any ambitions at this company, but tag ones. Like, can you imagine if there's a woman who feels like Dax Harwood does about this? Like, how disheartening.
Jake Salazar says, wait, are you serious? 2 tag teams broke up? Well, 1 tag team broke up. 1 is broken up already, but they don't know it yet. Like, the champs are breaking up. They're like, Fallon believes, even if somehow Kiana is meeting for drinks and dinner with somebody named Sebastian, and it's not her cheating on Beach. Fallon distrusts Kiana so much that they cannot continue to be a tag team. Do you like? So they're already broken up. Yeah.
There's no way they're making it past 10 to deliver. There's just not.
Jambeard says Raquel, Natty, and Shotzi all have revolving doors. Put them in a trios division. Just the 3 of them. 1 trio in the trios division. That'll make sense. Jambeard says, why does HBK hate women's tag teams? I don't know.
I mean, in his defense, literally nobody in American wrestling is, not even Impact. It impacts women's division rules. The knockouts rule. But even their tag team pictures in the mud.
Chi-Town Spurs says women's booking to have this much representation and be booked in this terribly monkey paw nonsense. Serenity now. Chi-Town Spurs says Alex Ivy Nile should play Abby in The Last of Us season 2. She's definitely built for it. That'd be fun. I don't know that she has the acting chops to pull off some of the stuff they're gonna ask Abby to do. But Jamie says Hale Ivy Nile should be like the super intense ECW Kurt Angle, going out and destroying everyone via suplexes, and her awesome. Let's not forget, get you in a sleeper by wrapping her arm around her back and then pulling with her other that was so cool. I love that.
Yeah, that rules. She's like a little Taz. Yeah. A little baby Taz out there.
Yeah, it's true. Taz or another comp from recent NXT history is Pete Dunne. Whatever happened to that guy? Dragunov and McDonuts had a promo where Dragunov wants McDonough. I was like, oh, slap. This is going to be the best match of all of WWE WrestleMania weekend. And then they're like, nope, sorry, next week. It's next week's. I
think it'll continue, though.
I do too, which is worse. Just have the match. Don't fake have the match and then like, oh well, we gotta settle it in 2 weeks. Like, just fucking have the match. Make the match for when it's supposed to be. The match to kick off Stand and Deliver. That everybody says, holy shit, how are we gonna follow that? And then steps up their game to try and match it. That's what you should do with this thing, and then promote it for that. Don't promote it for next week, and then the match never starts because you can't actually get them to stop fighting in the back. Don't do that shit. Just fucking have the match.
I will say I actually really liked the promos, and this is the closest thing that has felt like pro wrestling on my screen so far this week. I wouldn't say there was anything yesterday that did, and I don't even mean that there was a lot I didn't like yesterday, but there were a few things I liked. But this was the closest thing that felt like pro wrestling to me, were these promos and them talking about wanting to beat the crap out of each other. Kind of saying who couldn't escape who, I thought was really, really fun because they both have had their moments. They did a good job of telling the story of like, hey, our careers have been in lockstep the whole time without being like, we faced each other at blah, blah, blah. They've just been like, we're destined to be chasing each other forever and ever. So get used to it. We're going to throw down. Like, I actually really, really liked where this went. This felt like wrestling to me.
I love that JD McDonough has become Ilya Dragunov's own personal Joker.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're destined to do this forever. And it's like, nope, this one time. That's it. I'm done. I'm gonna beat you so. He said, I'm gonna leave you in this ring, nothing but body parts and bodily fluids, spelling out, "Here lies JD McDonough." I'm like, Jesus, like, I mean, like, that's intricate. That you would actually like not only like all the bodily fluids and stuff, but like that you would like take some time to like write out, because you like they don't actually spell your body in that way, Ilya. You would actually have to take some time to write out, and that's like serial killer stuff. And by the way, I'm all for it because it's JD McDonough, and that guy, screw that guy. That guy can go away. He's great in the ring, but that guy can go away. I love.
I think he saw Brett do like WCW and was like, "Oh, that's cool," and he didn't really think about the implications of doing that in bodily fluids. It's a little gross.
This is JD McDonough. Sorry, this is Ilya Dragunov spelling out stuff just like Brett did. Remember Brett did WCW? This is okay. So here we go.
This feels a little less badass than the Montreal Screwjob did.
The thing is that it's too many letters.
It is too many letters.
Like WCW, everyone can understand what that is, especially if you do it like backwards. It's very easy to read. But like Here Lies, that's a hard thing to do, you know?
It is. I did love that he said that, though, because not only did it feel like super vicious, but it kind of played into JD McDonough's whole thing of the way he's like really, really obsessed with the human body and
he's
serial killery. Like that feels like pro wrestling to me. I like that.
His whole thing of like, I love pain. Give me all the pain I want to experience it, and then I will kill you. Like, it was great. Some good stuff.
And Ilya was like, bet.
Yep. They interviewed Dragon Lee.
He's so happy to be there.
He really is. Sorry, I missed this. Okay, we'll talk about this. So Wes Lee shows up for the show earlier today, and he is met at the back of his car by Axiom, who's like, I'm just going to follow you around. I'm never going to let you out of my sight because I am getting that open challenge. And I'm like, so again, how do open challenges work? Because they've never worked like this before in wrestling. There is an open challenge. It is the first guy whose music hits and he walks to the ring. That's how that works. Like, or I've issued an open contract to face me for my title, and then you find out at the beginning of the night I signed the contract. I will be your opponent for the night. So if either of those things were true still, Axiom would just get the match. But instead, NXT is run like an absolute shit show because Horrible Booking Kid has no clue what he's doing and can't do his job properly, and then blames Wes Lee for it later when there's a huge, everybody's fighting each other because JD McDonough and Ilya Dragunov start fighting backstage, and then everyone joins in. And there's 15 guys punching each other, and Axiom finally gets into the ring, and then Scripps jumps out off the top rope to attack him, and there's nobody there for Wes Lee to face. So he says, instead of waiting in the ring, because I really want to defend my title tonight, and we promoted this for a week, Wes Lee versus probably Axiom. So we were all excited about that match. We've been promoting that thing for a week. And then they did this whole angle with Axiom following him around all day. So we know we're going to get that match. But oops, nope, we're not going to get that match because Wes Lee couldn't just wait around to get anybody one-on-one in the ring with him. And he jumps out of the ring on top of everybody. And there's a huge brawl that continues. And then Shawn Michaels has the nerve, the unmitigated gall to be like, Wes, come on. You got to help me out here. Everybody, I know you like doing the open challenges, but everybody's gone crazy. I'm like, how about you fucking get your shit straight, Shawn, and figure out a way that's better than everybody fights backstage until one guy makes it to the ring and that's the match. How about you have them, anybody who wants to be the open challenge recipient, put your name in a hat. We'll draw one out. That's the guy. And those are the rules. You are literally in charge. You could come up with anything better than free-for-all backstage until one guy emerges and runs to the ring. That is your thing. That is not Wes Lee. Wes Lee's not in charge of that. That's you. You have the power to stop all of this. If you have a problem with it, just fucking stop it. Why are you so bad at this?
I don't understand how the parking lot is never a concern, but anytime someone does an open challenge, this becomes a concern. I liked the idea of people trying to prevent each other. Like, I like the idea of a brawl breaking out to prevent each other from getting to the ring. I don't like that. It almost feels 24/7 challenging for Axiom to be following him around and like jump in of like, haha, got you. Because it's not supposed to be where Wes Lee is at midnight, the first person to appear. Like, that's not how that works. So I like the idea of people fighting each other to prevent them from getting to the ring makes sense. I always thought it was weird that people's music was queued up when it's supposed to be an open challenge. So I liked that when they did that the first time, but this got weird. And yeah, Shawn Michaels looks like a little bitch. Like, will you write in your open challenge because the guys are fighting in the back?
He's like, you're the champion. You have everything to prove. And Wes Lee says, yes, I do. I always have something to prove. You gave me the opportunity to become no champion. I want to give everybody else the opportunity. And I want to prove to them, to myself, to everybody that I deserve this spot. So it is important. And I want 10 guys. And he's like, I can't give you 10 because I don't know how I pick them because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Because if I give you 10, then at least 4 of those guys are dudes who only show up on Level Up. So I have no idea what to do. I'm terrible at my job. How about this? I'll give you 4. So we'll have a fatal 5-way and you get to pick them because Lord knows I can't pick them because I suck at
Alex,
my job.
if he was going to pick them anyway, why didn't they just solve the problem that way?
I mean, if you like, you can.
If he's gonna pick them, don't do an open challenge. And so you pick them. He picks them.
No, like I'm sorry. So you like, listen. I can't do 10. I'll give you 4. We'll do a fatal 5-way, and you can pick them because I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's going on. I'm terrible at my job.
I'm the horrible booking kid.
My God. So I guess we'll have to find out now. Like now, it's on Wes Lee. So like people are gonna threaten to beat him up unless he puts him in the match, or like is Axiom automatically get one, or is Axiom's fighting with Scripps now? Like that's a feud because Scripps like called him out during his promo thing where he talked like Megatron. Like that's
how
so
am I
like
supposed to get invested in something if every time I do they change the script?
I don't know, man.
I was excited for Axiom and Wes Lee. That seems like a great match.
Yeah.
Why didn't we just get that?
Yeah.
Why didn't Axiom lose and then 3 people come down to the ring and say, he's a goofy luchador. Give me a real test.
I don't know, man. It's so weird. It's just
But like if the problem was the open challenge and he's picking 4 dudes anyway, why didn't he just pick someone?
I don't know. Advi says, I love the bit during the brawl where Von Wagner held back Zion Quinn so someone else could punch him. Did they forget what the brawl was about? Yes. Nobody knows what the hell the brawl's about. It's just so weird. So then they interview Dragon Lee. He's like, man, you see how many people are fighting backstage to get a shot North American title? I'm so glad I'm here. And I'm like, are you though? Because like there's a whole other company out there which has like 2 companies within it, and like you could be having such better matches. Like Dragon Lee. Are you familiar with Candice LeRae's career and her legacy? Did you happen to see what they did to Candice LeRae
earlier?
Like do you like I Dragon Lee, you're so good.
Yeah, but he might, who knows? Money, he might be tired of facing all those people that he's faced.
I guess. Well, let's hope. But he's got to be in that match, right? He's got to be in the North American Championship Fatal 5-way.
I would favor him to win it, probably.
Please,
I would think he wins.
I just that's all I hope. That's all I hope. Yes, but this was fine. Just give me Dragon Lee in the ring. Like have Dragon Lee versus Wes Lee, and the winner gets to keep the surname Lee.
Lee.
It's good. So JC Jane has a shoulder injury. She said like 1 minute into the match, she separated her shoulder. Maybe that's why the match sucked. Like because they couldn't do the stuff they wanted to do, and like it felt slow and like
that makes sense.
They didn't really know what they were doing because like there probably was a bunch of spots JC couldn't do right because she had a separated shoulder, and if so, like mea culpa. I'm sorry about that. I just didn't think that was a problem. Like
No, that makes sense. I forgot how off that match felt, but that makes sense.
It didn't suck. It was just like, well, this is disappointing. I figured there'd be a lot more like brutal stuff happening in the match because they hate each other so much. And the reason they couldn't is because we got to get home on this thing because I'm not sure what we're going to do here.
Yeah, it sucks.
Yeah, that was
rough.
too bad. But like, so she's out for a while with her shoulder injury. I would also assume that she would be in any kind of ladder match for the women's championship. She seems like she'd be involved in that. So yeah, it's too bad for her because that would suck. That did suck. Speaking of things that suck, Dabba Kato beat Apollo Crews. This is one of those. I've reached my breaking point on the champagne wishes and caviar dreams. Like I've it is somehow the most confounding thing on this utterly confounding show is Booker T's obsession with this one line from Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous, a show that has been off the air since the early 90s. Robin Leach died decades ago, I believe. Like, you are referencing a very, very, it's so odd. Dabba Kato is looking for his, when do I get my caviar wishes? When do I get my champagne dreams or whatever? And I'm like, I mean, look at, listen, is it like code for I want to be a big star and I want to be rich so I can afford these things? Like, is it like, are we at the point like still where like if I woke up tomorrow and I had $1 billion, I wouldn't go out and buy caviar.
Well,
like,
you don't have caviar dreams.
But he's saying that everyone does.
Well, why don't you? It's not about the money. It's about champagne and caviar.
I guess like champagne's all right. Champagne's all right. I have no interest in having caviar. I tried it once at like some really fancy function. It was awful.
This is why you're not in a wrestling ring.
I guess it's so
if you want caviar, the only way to get it is through the NXT.
Yeah, it's true. Right. It's true.
Duh.
Yep. Anyway, Dabba Kato is better or worse than Omos?
Based on what we saw this week, I'm gonna say better because Omos couldn't throw Brock Lesnar out of a ring even.
Like, I mean,
but
when he rushed at Apollo Crews and had to like throw himself into the ring steps, like he did not do that properly. Like, I mean, it's the thing. It's been so long since I've seen Omos work a match that's longer than 45 seconds. I can't recall.
Well, and his best match was the Saudi Arabia match with Braun Strowman. Like that was the most passable he's ever looked. Doesn't really matter because
but like
regardless of where Dabba Kato's at, he ain't where Apollo Crews is at, and this is what they sent Apollo Crews back to NXT to do.
Yeah, man,
this is so disappointing. It is a waste. It is such a waste of his ability. And I thought, oh well, they were wasting him on the main roster. He'll come down to NXT and do some cool stuff. And then they were like, no, he's not. He's gonna have pink eye at a diner, and he's gonna fight Dabba Kato again.
Yeah, this feud can't end now. Like Apollo Crews has to win it. Like that's how these feuds work.
Oh yeah.
So we're gonna have to do more.
10 in the morning at Stand and Deliver.
But Jambeard says, but Alex, Dabba is mostly like going to be the first title challenger after Stand and Deliver. Got to keep him strong.
What are you doing with Apollo Crews? And Apollo Crews,
I feel so bad for that guy.
Use your voice. Ask for your release or ask for something different. You got to get out of this. You can't.
I mean,
stay here.
I really thought like they were gonna like he showed up and immediately said, I came back here because I got unfinished business. I want that title. They stuck him in that awful feud with Grayson Waller and had him like he was the diner vigilante. You could see the future. Like it was awful. And then they finally gave him the Braun Breaker thing. I thought the match was all right, but like it was like okay. And then we moved on from it. And then they had a little feud with him and Carmelo Hayes, and good for Carmelo Hayes. Like Apollo Crews putting over Carmelo Hayes is the right move, but I thought there was a really good way of like doing a transitional thing from Braun to Apollo to Carmelo Hayes. So at least Apollo got a short run with the title. But it looks like now he's mired in this feud. This is a months long thing with Dabba Kato. You don't run a feud like this. That's like, hey, we had a match this week. Next week I have another match. I won. You won one. We're done. Like, no, that's not how this kind of feud works. It's just. It's
they didn't even have
sad.
Apollo Crews go and lose to Brock Lesnar. Too soon.
Gigi Dolan defeated porn accountant. The storyline is so bad now she's been demoted back to the nickname. That's what Luis says. So
I think she could be Kiana the porn accountant, James.
yeah, perhaps. So good for Gigi Dolan for moving on. I don't love. I thought this. Well, you have a built-in reason, like of all the times to not have some weird wonky finish. You have a built-in reason now with Fallon and with Horse Girl and Double Vest and the Beach. You have a full-on reason to protect one of your tag team champions and not have her take a clean pinfall loss. You have a perfectly valid reason to do this. But no, they just have Gigi Dolan win, which is good for Gigi Dolan, but bad for the tag team titles. But then again, it's the tag team titles, and you guys don't care about those, as evidenced by all of your booking. So it doesn't matter really either way. Good for Gigi Dolan for winning. But Kiana's very angry that Fallon never showed up. And Fallon and Double Vest had no idea there was a triple threat match for the number one contendership to their titles. Did they think that the biggest NXT show of the year wouldn't have the NXT women's titles defended? Oh, wait, of course they did, because that's how they've been presented as the NXT women's tag team titles. Why would they be defended on the biggest show of the year? So of course not. But all of this was bad and I hate it.
I want Kiana James to burn down Fallon Henley's bar.
Good.
I want Fallon Henley to be like, you were cheating on him the whole time, and them to be like, oh my God, you're so evil, and her to just set fire to the bar. And there to be no more matches, and for them to never interact on television again.
Luis saying, look, man, Apollo versus Brock would hump. And I'm like, for 3 minutes.
And if you want to hump longer than 3 minutes, bluechew.com, code Fightful.
For 3 minutes. For like, it would be
if
great.
If they took the wheels off, that would rule, but they just
right, but they wouldn't. They wouldn't. So they're not going to. So yeah. Jake Salazar says that porn accountant Kiana James is dating Sebastian Shaw, who is Dexter Loomis, and that would no. I'm sorry, no, too many things. Sorry, no. This whole weird tag team
storyline thing is just so bad. Just like this is like of all the teams that I'm like complaining about, they keep breaking up all these women's tag teams. This is the one to break up because you've been teasing it with the whole. They were broken up before they got together. They hated each other before they were brought together. Yeah.
Why did they not just have them?
This is very good from Rob. The
Hi,
biggest heel
Rob.
guys, whoever Johnny and Candice paid a landscape because it was not a good, nice yard.
It wasn't.
Not a nice yard. Yeah.
Biggest heel tonight was just
No, Sebastian Stan is the Winter Soldier. A shock. Sebastian Shaw is a mutant villain. Okay. Sam Shaw. See, Luis is the one who told me it was Sam Shaw, not Sebastian Shaw.
Oh, that's right.
Sebastian Stan. There you go. Whatever. You know what I'm not a stan of? Shawn Michaels. Because nobody showed up. Like, Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams come out, and then Bron Breakker comes out, and they're there for the thing. Hey, why is anybody gonna come out here and like moderate this?
Facilitate the contract signing?
They've had Booker T do these in the past. They've had Vic Joseph. They had Wade Barrett when he was there. He was almost all of them. Here's an idea. Shawn Michaels could fucking do it because it's his fucking job, because it's his fucking company. Or he could figure out who's supposed to do it and send that person out, except for he doesn't until he sends out the Yes Boys, who are now officially the hosts, and so they're going to moderate it. And I honestly enjoyed the back and forth between
really
Bron
good
and
really
Carmelo.
good.
I think it is crazy they kept these two guys so far apart for so long. This feels like it could have been like the feud of the new NXT era. Like, these dudes could have traded the belts 3 or 4 times in a year and just never stopped. Like, you'd get like sidetracked by some quick thing where you have to put this guy down to get back in the number one contendership. But honestly, it felt like it could have been something really cool. And maybe that would have gotten old. Probably would have gotten old because the creative would have been bad surrounding it. But I don't think the matches would have gotten old.
No.
I think this match has the potential to be really, really good. I think that the
Carmelo, matches would have gotten old because Trick. They would have done some BS with Trick the whole time. True. But
but Melo is
But to your point, I was thinking of, in Office Space when they go, what would you say you do here? I was like, Sean, you're not wrangling the boys backstage during the open challenge. You're not booking particularly well. You're not coming out for the contract signing or delegating to anybody. I don't know what Shawn Michaels does here.
I don't know, but so they each signed the contract, went their ways amicably, but the Yes Boys said, no, we got to have entertainment. We got to have entertainment value here. Well, come on, guys, fight each other. And instead they each picked up a Yes Boy and put him through the table, which that was fine. Apparently they're doing a Can They Coexist tag match next week.
Of course, it's the only story they know how to tell.
Yep, only one. That's it. While they're also doing a Can They Coexist tag match on the main roster the night before between Asuka and Bianca.
And essentially the women's tag picture is a Can They Coexist angle.
It's the same. Now, is this not a 1-to-1 comparison of
Asuka and Bianca?
Asuka and Bianca is, they have a respect for each other, but definitely want to beat each other, which is what Bron and Carmelo are.
One is a champion, one is a challenger.
Right. And the Yes Boys are Chelsea Green and Carmella, not just the Yes Girls. They're just the same team. So they're running the same match back to back. The only difference is because they're two back to back nights. The only difference is one of them is girls, one of them is boys, and they're there. It's done. Yeah.
No, can they coexist match announced yet? Oh, it'll be announced. They're definitely going to do it. Yeah, they're definitely going to do it.
That'll actually probably be a good match too. It's just like
it'll be a good match as long as as long as it ends with them still respecting each other, but wanting to beat the other one. I don't want there to be like oh well, you wouldn't tag me in, so I don't like you. It's crap. No, like you've reached the sweet spot. The sweet spot is right here. It's right. The match can happen tomorrow. Like you've reached the sweet spot, which is, I respect you. I think you're great. It's been too long. This match has been coming a long time.
When Carmelo
I want the best version of you.
Yeah.
So I can beat that guy. That's great. That's all I wanted from Edge versus AJ Styles. Remember that amazing thing that they didn't give us? The best version of you so I can beat that guy. I love those programs. Like almost like if half of wrestling programs were just, you're great. I think I'm better. Let's have a match about it. I think wrestling would be a much better place. Like it would just
Ring of Honor, Pumpkin.
I know.
Ring of Honor says, "Hey, you're next in the standings. We're gonna have a match because you've been winning a bunch, and so ergo, you're great, and so we're gonna have a match."
I love that.
Like Bible.
Yas Queens is already taken, so they can't be the yes Queens, which is good. Jambeard says Bron will get called up after losing the title and losing his smile. I mean, if he's getting called up right after this, I want Carmelo Hayes to beat him clean. I want him to raise Carmelo's hand, and then that's it. He shows up on Raw, and then that's it. Like, if he's sticking around, I love the double turn here because I think that there's mileage in a heel, ruthless. I'm gonna spear your guts out. Like Bron Breakker, who's like I've been holding back. You see how strong, how fast, how quick I am. I haven't tapped into where I can really go when I hate somebody. Like that.
And Carmelo's almost a face already.
And Carmelo could easily cut great babyface promos and stuff. Like
he kind of did tonight. That was pretty much a face promo. I don't want Fisherman Braun. Like I loved that. Delicious, good stuff.
And Luis says that Beach Prawn burned his brain cells tonight, so that's why he thought Sebastian Shaw was Sam Shaw. So
story tracks.
All right, we have puns to get to. Cat Irish Eddie Kingston is just Kate. Irish Eddie Kingston is just Arthur Shelby from Peaky Blinders.
I never watched Peaky Blinders.
I know. I figured you hadn't. To Electric Mayhem says, send Captain Hook.
That's good. That's really good.
I actually like this too. Jambeard. Heel Braun should dye his hair and just go goatee blonde.
Oh yeah.
And then start coming to the ring with hot girls and be like, holla if you hear me. Yeah, just full on do it.
Perfect.
The Harvestarian says, on NXT, no boa feathers, darling, it's bookworms, take it from me. That's Under the Sea, but it's Electric Mayhem says Sour Grappy. There's one of the Seven Dwarfs. It's Doc and Grumpy and Sour Grappy. Actually, Grumpy is just Sour Grappy.
It's true.
Jambeard says, "Oh, Farouk and Mick Bradshaw, the IRA." Not the APA, it's the IRA. Farouk is really funny. Meet Norma says, "Oh, Danhausen, very nice, very evil shenanigans." Ryan Sullivan says, "Legado de Valera." My God, this is a niche joke, and I don't get it. Legado
too
del
niche
Valera.
for me, pal. Sorry.
I don't know it. Tom LaValle says, "Twofer, Coco, beware." The Disney movie Coco. And then instead of Remember Me, it's Remember Mia Yim.
There you go.
It's good. And JD Pringle says Big Hero Scripts.
Big Hero
Oh
6.
yeah. Sorry,
Big Hero
took
6 is
me.
fun. It's a really good movie. I like that movie.
Big Hero Scripts.
And
I was just thinking, like, yeah, of course, Scripts is a big hero. Why would?
And then T Electric Mayhem says, "Punk Tales, woo! Every day they're out there making TM Punk Tales, woo!"
Woo!
He's making his own tales, like shooting pictures of his feet working out. He's living his
Bring him
stuff.
back. Give me CMFTR. I need it.
Bron Jambeard says that Bron is dating Cora so she can be his heel hot girl to come to the ring with him.
We're reducing women anyway. Why not?
Yeah, well, Cora is absent. Has been for a while. She hurt?
I don't know. I would assume so. It's been a sizable absence.
I mean, yeah. I would assume if you were doing this match and she was available, she'd be in this ladder match.
Right, yeah, she was very heavily pushed, so
Interesting. All right, let's see what we got here for jukebox. All right, Jambeard sent in a sour child. Looking for that for a jukebox request here. Okay. Okay. Jambeard says, I say in honor of the Canadian show tomorrow that will be the best of the week in Winnipeg. Let's make the jukebox Canadian themed tonight. I mean, that's up to you, Jambeard. So let's see. Liquor and Whores by Bubbles from Trailer Park Boys to be sung by Papa Pulowski. I don't know. I'm afraid to Google Liquor and Whores. Oh, Liquor and Whores lyrics. It comes right up. So that's nice. That's good. Okay, we'll just do that one first because that is here we go. Here we go. Liquor and whores, liquor and whores, cigarettes and dope and mustard, baloney, liquor and whores. Well, I was drinking at the Legion. I met a girl. She was nice. She was pretty. She was pleasing. She said, "Hey, boy, we should do some marrying." Sure, before we do something, you should. I like liquor and whores, cigarettes and dope and mustard, and baloney and liquor and whores. Noodly doot doo doo, noodly doot doody doot 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 doot. What? What? Sorry. All right. So. Let's see here. What's this one? Tiffany reads the promo where Adam Cole buries Karrion Kross. That's Ricardo wants that.
The whole. I think we just have a snippet of it.
I don't know. We'll see.
That's
I don't know.
okay.
I haven't clicked it. Yeah, did you get that?
I don't want to open the preview. I want to open the whole thing. Open. Hold on. I want to make sure I have the whole thing because I got to do it right. If we're going to have a Tiffany epiphany, we're going to do it the right way. The truth is, you ain't Adam Cole, baby, and you never will be. Because this brand has done everything in their power to make you feel special. You got the music. You got the music. You got the fog machine. You got the girl. You know what they do to make Adam Cole feel special? They ring the freaking bell. Because on your best day, you couldn't lace my boots. You can't hang with me. You aren't on my level. And anybody who watches pro wrestling knows that. Toodles.
Oh, that's so good. Okay. So we have Darby sings The Wonderful Thing About Tiggers. All right, from Winnie the Pooh. Hold on, let me get this over here so I can look at it while I sing it. All right, hold on. There we go. The wonderful thing about Tiggers is Tiggers are wonderful things. Their tops are made out of rubber. Their bottoms are made out of springs. They're bouncy, trouncy, flouncy, pouncy, fun. Malachi Black. The most wonderful thing about Tiggers is I'm the only one. I'm the only one.
I haven't gotten to bust that one out in a while.
One LT Fiddle says, I need one Tiffany Bree-woo.
Bree-woo.
Very good. Very good.
My world.
There you go. Yeah. Thank you, Luis. I remember this. Cora was originally scheduled to face Lyra Valkyria, but disappeared a week later. Ooh. All right. So here we go. Mm-hmm. Okay. Tiffany sings "Wave Your Hands," Joe Hendry's theme from Talon Valley.
Are you familiar with Joe Hendry?
Only slightly.
We're gonna smarten you up.
All right.
Say his name and he appears. I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Because they love him in London and Paris and Tokyo, America, Scotland, and Canada and Mexico. They say, I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry. Wave your hands from side to side and say, I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is so prestigious. Wave your hands from side to side and say, oh, I believe in Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry is the prestigious one. Toodles. I gotta send you his Titantron. It's amazing.
Okay, good. I'm glad. Finn Balor and Scripps in a duet sing "Whiskey in the Jar."
I love how much Scripps is like it's just Jesse Ventura.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Okay, this is gonna be a difficult one here. Let's see if I can get this over here. Okay. Nope. Nope. There we go. All right. Okay. As I was going over the far-famed Kerry Mountains, went with Captain Farrell, and his money was accounting. I first produced my pistol, and I produced my rapier, saying, "Stand and deliver. We were a bold deceiver. Muttering, dumma-doo, dumma-da. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy. There's whiskey in the jar."
I counted out his money and made a pretty penny. I put it in me pocket and I took it home to Jenny. She sighed and she swore she'd never deceive me, but the devil take the women, for they can never be easy. Mushering, dumma-doo, dumma-da. Whack for my daddy-o, whack for my daddy-o. There's whiskey in the jar. I went all up to my chamber all to take a slumber. I dreamt of gold and jewels. I was for sure 'twas no wonder, but Jenny drew me charges, and she filled them up with water, then sent for Captain Farrell to be ready for the slaughter. Mushering, dumma-doo, dumma-da, whack for my daddy. There's a whiskey in the jar.
Dumma-doo, dumma-dow, Scripps.
What happened? I left there for a second. I was gone.
We summoned him.
Yep. I was saving that one for a little bit. Paul Elizabeth wants Sheila singing "Blame Canada."
I think that's the wrong Sheila, sir.
No, but it's your Sheila. Not I don't know. You sing it.
You have to duet it with me.
Okay.
Simply because of your don't.
Okay.
Because we have Sharon and Leanne and the fathers.
Right.
I don't know when the chat went Canadian, but whoever that was got support on it.
Yeah. All right. So are you gonna do Sheila and I'll do all the other ones? What are we gonna do here? You do Sheila because she's the lead, and then I'll do all the other ones. I'll do different voices. Okay.
Sure.
Here we go. Yeah, here we are.
Times have changed. Our kids are getting worse. They won't obey the parents. All they do is fight and curse.
Should we blame the government or blame society? Or should we blame the images on TV?
No, blame Canada.
Blame Canada?
With all their beady little eyes, the flapping heads so full of lies.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada.
We need to form a full assault.
It's Canada's fault. Don't blame me for my son Stan. He saw the Dawn cartoon, and now he's off to join the Klan. And my boy Eric once had my picture on himself, but now when I see him, he tells me to fuck myself.
Well, blame Canada.
Blame Canada.
It seems that everything's gone wrong since Canada came along.
Blame Canada. Blame Canada. They're not even a real country anyway. I got sun.
Oh, man.
Okay. Okay, well, I put these back on. Now this is "O Canada" by Classified, not the national anthem from Jam Beard. Okay. Not the national anthem. Here we go. Oh, Canada, we stand on good for thee. Oh, Canada, oh, Canada, oh, Canada, oh, Canada. I told this guy where I was from. He said, oh, Canada. Kind of laughed it off real funny, huh? Yeah, come on. 1 2 1 2, Mike, check 1 2 1 2. Oh, here we go. Yeah, from the land of the lost, trans Canada, cross patriotic, and I honor with my hand and my heart. From the greatest of lakes to the greatest of greens, the rockiest mountains and everything in between. Oh, Canada, you're no fan of us because our movies and TV shows are so amateur. Yes, we laugh it off that we don't really bother me. Look, we ain't serious unless we really gotta be. Humorous attitude like Kids in the Hall or Jim Carrey, Mike Myers, hell, we claim them all. Is the Great White North home of the funniest actors, the butt of the joke, and without abundance of laughter. The red and white flag, keep it high, keep it visual. People say Canada and get stereotypical. That was a long walk for that rhyme, I think. Think we finish every sentence with buddy or B? It ain't that. It's a god. What? Canada A, yes, we can consider it people. And smoking marijuana, we consider it legal. Still doing rap like the 1990s, but that's how we like it. Off time and grimy. This is a very... Oh, Canada indeed. So I'm done with it now. More Tiffany. Tiffany to sing "Just a Moment of Weakness" by Biff Naked as requested by Jam Beard.
I stand in the pouring rain. You couldn't even be there to pick me up. You're taking me for granted again. You're running out of time and you're running out of luck. Just a moment of weakness. My monitor just went black. Just a moment of weakness. I should examine my head. Just a moment of weakness. I never meant a word I said. I'm not going to say that on the next part. Not in today's world.
Nope, not today. No. Mm-hmm. Tom LaValle wants Sheamus singing "Fields of Athenry," which I don't know what that is, but I'll do it. Please leave a like on the video if you're watching currently. It really helps us out, people to find this thing, because you know they're going to love it. By a lonely prison wall, fella, I heard a young girl calling. Michael, they're taking you away for your stolen Trevelyan's corn, so the young might see the morn. Now, prison ships stay waiting in the bay. Lay low the fields of Athenry, where once we watched the small birds fly, fella. Our love was on the wing. We had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely around the fields of Athenry. So I'm going to sing of that. And then finally, T Electric Mayhem wants Tiffany to do the Macho Man Cream of the Crop promo. Should be really good.
Oh, Lord. I'm talking about all the way to the top. Yeah, Unjustifiably in a position I'd rather not be in, but the cream will rise to the top. Oh, yeah. Macho Madness, yeah, has got me more to offer than President Trump thinks I got. Yeah. I don't know why it became LA Knight. And let me tell you something right now. Cards stacked against the Macho Man Randy Savage in WrestleMania 3. Let me say it. Let me say it out loud. And let me point to the president of the World Wrestling Federation. The Macho Man Randy Savage is not happy with your decision. I am the cream in the World Wrestling Federation, and there is no doubt about it, yeah. You, Mean Gene Okerlund, you know what? I'm the cream of the crop.
Toodles. Okay, that's good. Hey, everybody. I'm sorry to people who sent in chats last night for the super sour chats for last night on the show on Fightful Select. Since they only do the same stories over and over again every week on Raw, I'll just answer those next week on the Fightful Select show we're talking about Raw. I promise I read them and answer them then. Last night I was dealing with some stuff because my wife had food poisoning. So I was trying to like make sure I didn't have to like end the stream immediately to like go and help and stuff. So that's why that happened. So I'm sorry about that. But that's in the past. In the future, is Friday is our St. Patrick's Day special for get the flick out of here. And we're doing a special, a very special one. It's the St. Patrick's Day special. So Kate is watching one movie, and I am watching.
And what are you doing, Alex?
I'm watching 6 movies. I did this to myself.
Completely self-inflicted. I would never.
I know you wouldn't. I thought I was only watch one, and I realized, hey, all 6 of them are available on Peacock. So I'm watching 6 Leprechaun movies. You know, the Leprechaun, the horror movie that came out in the 90s.
They all are sequential and they build on each other.
Yep, exactly. All of them absolutely feature the same rules for the Leprechaun and his pot of gold. And we can easily see how Leprechaun progresses from one movie to the next, building on his experiences and stuff. Oh, wait, no, none of that is true. So, number 2 has nothing to do with number 1. Number 3 has nothing to do with number 2. Number 4 is Leprechaun in Space. So I'm pretty sure that has nothing to do with number 3. And then they have Leprechaun in the Hood and then Leprechaun Back to the Hood. So I have to watch all of those by Friday at noon Eastern, which is some kind of weird, prolonged, self-inflicted torture, heretofore unknown to mankind, that I have done myself. To myself.
I'm not the kind of person that would be like, you said you were going to watch 6 of them, but you're only at 3. No. I need
to do it because I need to know if ever I need all of them to have different rules, like none of them to be consistent at all.
Leprechaun NXT.
But you are watching a very unlucky leprechaun, which is a kids movie about a leprechaun played by the same actor who plays the horror movie Leprechaun. I need to know if his Irish accent in that is as bad as it is in all the Leprechaun horror movies.
Why I always gotta watch the kids ones?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, because you're
at least it wasn't like Air Bud Goes Irish or whatever.
That's true. Yeah. It's
I
true.
I'm a big sissy.
Jambeer says, to be fair to 4, they were putting all horror movie villains in space. They did it to Jason. True, they did. They did. And I'm not going to do the ones that came. I'm only doing the ones in the original.
Coward.
I thought to myself, I'm only doing the ones that are canon, but none of them are canon to each other. So how can they be canon except for the fact that they only found one little person who would agree to put on all the makeup? There are ones they did years later that feature apparently Hornswoggle, but I'm not doing those. So,
God love you.
Yeah. I am also going to watch the WWE remake of Leprechaun featuring Hornswoggle's Leprechaun. I just discovered that. No, I will not watch Swoggle.
Because you're a coward.
Warwick Davis is a trained actor who delivers one of my favorite performances ever in a fantasy movie as Willow in Willow. He's a really good actor, and he can't do this at all. And I feel bad for him because he's acting a terrible script under all that makeup in a terrible costume that can't have been fun to wear. And he did it 6 times. And I can't believe Hornswoggle could possibly be any better. Yes, part 1 features Jennifer Aniston in the lead role, and she's playing Rachel. It is so funny how much Jennifer Aniston cannot not play Rachel. It's just
well, once she played Rachel, you can't unplay Rachel, right?
Well, yeah, but she wasn't Rachel yet. Like True. It wasn't like, hey, I adopted all of these mannerisms for my character as Rachel, and I can't stop doing them in my later movie roles. Like the first movie she ever had lines in, she's just playing Rachel. Yeah. Ricardo, I'm on delay. Thank you, Kate, for doing the most.
Thank you for suggesting it. That was fun.
Listen, he may have lied during an interview, but there's no way that man enjoyed what he was doing when I was watching those movies. People lie in interviews all the time. But anyway, guys, thank you. And we'll see you on later this week. Get the flick out of here. Please come and watch. It'll be a lot of fun. If you thought tonight's costumes were fun, wait until you see Friday. Yep, it'll be great. I'm also going to drink a Shamrock Shake during the show. I don't know if I can. Well, I'll think of it the next night and put it in the freezer, and then I'll thaw it out because I don't think I can get it that early in the day. But we'll see. Anyway, what's going on? Everything sucks, especially this show, especially the horrible booking kid. God, he's just so bad.